Assertiveness, we are talking about polygamy. And Karen she's just painting a picture for us of her story and her life. And it's just been crazy. I mean, at 12 years old, your mom's heart is broken, right? Is it 12 years old? 12. My mom's heart is broken. She packs up her bags and she says, you know what? I'm out of here. And she's going to the UK. You are left in South Africa. Your dad is getting married in Zimbabwe. What's happening?
Okay, so my mom left when I was 12. I was in grade 7. And then when she left, it was that thing where, for some odd reason, I was never sad about her leaving. It's like God made me strong. It's like I was always that, you know, I'm ready. Yeah, like I'm ready. You know, I tried staying with family members, but they never understood me. And if they tried staying with me, they would try to like, send that extra money, you know. So it would be that thing, Oguti, what am I getting for taking care of your child? Yeah. So when I was in like grade 9, I was like, you know what? Please chase all your family, your sibling, your sisters and everything away, because pressure. I can do this by myself. I don't need anyone. She was like, are you sure?
And where's your dad at this point?
My dad is with his wife. So I didn't know. No, in South Africa.
His dad is in South Africa.
My dad never left. So he married in Zim and came back. So that wife is
left the Zimbabwe.
Yes, I see you maybe once a year, maybe twice a year, kind of sticky. You know, I see you once a year, because that woman thinks my husband is in South Africa getting money to support us. I don't blame her. That's what you do. Men leave in the rural areas to come to the urban city to spend, like, as in, I'm going to give money to my kids. So I'm here, I don't know that my dad's married. I'm living in my mom's flat by myself. My dad used to stay 2 streets away from my mom's apartment. So my primary school was just there, and my high school, the bus stop was just there. So hi daddy, how sharp, you know, every day. So this one time I saw this lady driving my dad's car. Beautiful, I love her to bits. And I'm like, Dad, who's this lady driving your car? And there's a kid in the car, you know. I was just like, I feel like maybe he wasn't ready to let me in, you know, because Nakona, he's also in a situation where I've got 2 wives. Stress and my mom is here. You know. So my dad's like, no, moto. Till one day he calls me, he's like, I want you to meet someone. I was like, okay, cool, you know. And I get there, this beautiful lady, you know, looks exactly like me, you know. This child just ran to me and just started hugging me. I was like, mind you, it's just me, I grew up alone. So I'm like, I'm always bored, no siblings, nothing. This child just hugs me and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? My dad's like, this is your other mother and this is your other mother. Your other mother and this is, you know, and this is like,
my mom is in the UK.
It's the UK, okay? And this is your sister. I'm like, I wasn't a brat about it. I was like, Njani, like, you're so pretty. And she came out, whip out in the back of the boot. She had bought me clothes. She was like, I'm so happy I finally meet you. And from there, she was always making the initiative to put me in my little sister's life. Like when she's got little, and she's the one that got me into church, actually. Every Sunday, Nana, we're going to church, dress up. I'd be excited because you're going to play with the other kids,
how
you know.
Old is she?
She's
at the time that you meet her.
I think she was 32.
32. Okay, so she wasn't too far from
too far, yes.
Yeah.
So we all started like a relationship and together. But now the problem is my mother.
Yeah, what you've got?
And this woman. You've got, you know, so my mom left me when I was 12 for working to support me. My mom is everything to me. University. Hey, Monash is expensive. She's doing the damn thing. You know, my lifestyle is super expensive, but she manages. Ever since she left the UK, there is not one day that my mom has never called me.
So she's back?
No, she hasn't been back. I haven't seen my mom for 10 years. I only video call my mom. My mom calls me 10, 50, 100 times a day. She might even call me now, like, you know, look, why is this? Like, we have created a whole cyber relationship, you know, together, and that's all I have with my mother, because
we make it work.
We make it work, you know. So for her, having another woman now wanting to take care of her child physically is now an issue, you know. So she's just like,
And it's a younger woman. And okay, so your dad now has two wives.
Yes.
How is he surviving? Do you have a relationship with him?
I love my dad to bits, and I've come to accept him for the man that he is. As a friend, he's the best friend, but as a father, not so much.
Okay.
Because I'm not saying I'm trying to fight this whole stigma that to be a father you need to be able to give your child money. You know how mothers are, you don't know. But I tell my mom every day, I'm like, this is the only father that I have. Rather I have him as a friend than to not know him because he's failing to give me a lousy 1,000 rand that I can go work for, you know. So it was hard before because I used to send him there was Christmases where I was always by myself.
Oh man.
Luckily I was always a sucker for love. So I was always in a relationship and my ex's family took me in. Like every Christmas they'll be like, oh, come to us, you know. So there was a time when after I found out that he was married, I'd send him nasty messages like, with your family, you don't even know what's in you know, you know, like those kind of, yes, I was going through that stage. Like for instance, I'll take his phone, I see they went to Durban. I mean, I've never even seen the beach. When are you out here with your family? You don't even invite me in those. So we've never had that father-daughter relationship. Masambe, come with us. So it's kind of hectic in that sense.
That's awesome though. It's awesome to know that you can actually function without. I just don't know how I could do with my dad. And if I had to ever find my dad's got another wife, I'm shy. Because it would be something very new to me, you know what I mean? And I think that's what we want to talk a little bit about, you know, whether do you feel that he has to divide his love amongst 10 children. Jeez, I can imagine 10 kids. Guys, you know, kids can drive you insane. Now you got 10 of them all asking, kids are expensive, ne? Kids, scholars are now imagine 10 of them and having to pay for 10 children and trying to keep 10 people alive and supporting them. Even that, forget the finances, just the love of spreading yourself thin amongst 10 kids, 2 wives. You know what I mean? It can get a bit crazy. But Sarah, let's get to you. Let's hear about your family dynamics.
Well, mine is much simpler than hers. It's much simpler.
Thank goodness we have restored that.
Okay, well, with my situation, my mom was the third wife. The last one.
That's another wife on top of that.
And it was from the wives, it was 2, right? I don't know 2 kids each.
2 kids each.
Yeah, and it was girls.
Okay.
But with my mom, it was 2 boys and me. So I'm the last one out of everybody.
Oh, we last born?
Yeah, I'm last born.
Okay.
So I was like the final cut. Definitely. Well, yeah, definitely because he's deceased.
Oh, okay. So he's definitely not taking on another wife.
No, I don't have a choice.
That's fine. Yeah. So what? Your mom is the 3rd wife.
Yes.
So how does it happen? How do they, interact? Is it the same as what we see on TV? On that, what is Tando? Is Tembu? In a sense, good. Okay, Mina, I was born in it. Yeah.
So Mankula, there's a time when we lived in a 4-room, all 3 wives with
all
the
3
kids.
wives in a 4-room.
4-room, ekasi. And
so
each wife has a room, but because my mom was like the 3rd one, she had actually back room.
Okay.
And so it's like we came in their environment, if I could say it like that.
Yeah.
And to us as kids, it didn't matter. You were my sister, even if I knew this is my mother, that's your mother, but it was still you, my sister.
Yeah.
And the first wife, Mam Kulu, second one, Porachadi, like we had names like that, and we respected all of them the same because they were all our mothers. Even this thing, stepmother, I started with it because I was like, the family tree. I remember mom shouting at me, assistant mother, assistant mother, give me wow. So it was a thing where
my mother does. But okay.
So it was a thing where they didn't want to create a division between us. Yeah. All of them. To the point where but I guess it comes also the point which we'd have nicknames for them. Like, you know, like as Nyashutu Mama Mkulu and stuff like that. Yeah, but all of them, you call them Mama, you respect them all the same. And the division wasn't created by our parents, but it was created by us, the kids.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like, even if, guys, like, you know, as people, we treat people differently.
Yes.
As much as
even as a group of friends.
Yes, as much as my dad can think he treated them all the same, he didn't. Because Nakona, they all have different personalities. Yes. So he has to deal with it a certain way. So now...
Wait, before we get into... Like, I'm trying to understand. A rotation system. How does he see them? Who does he sleep with? Not sex, of course. Yeah. But which room does he sleep in?
Okay, the way it worked, okay, because women, you know,
and
women are very...
and emotional.
Yeah, so he had to now divide us. So we had now 3 different houses.
Okay.
And then...
But let's talk about when you were all living in the same house.
Yes. Yeah. When we were all in the same house, obviously he would go to the first wife.
Yeah.
Always has first preference.
Okay.
So how he goes to the other ones when he feels words, I don't know how it happens, but at the same time, it was a thing with if he's like, okay, today I'm going there. Like, it wasn't, I don't think they spoke about it.
Yeah.
It was just, if he goes in there, he goes there. You don't ask.
English, man. English, science, man. Like, that is so confusing.
It's like, he goes where he goes and no one asks because he's the man of the house. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And even like with the kids,
but it's fine. Let's not talk about him specifically because their dynamics, because you guys are not the wives, you guys are the children. How does it affect you as a child? You spoke about you guys are the ones who created the division, obviously, because you started seeing what's you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, how does that all work?
Okay, with the division, it's a thing with not everybody accepts it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So all your siblings.
Like,
and there are some of you guys who are just...
Some of us, we don't click. Then there's like, for instance, after my dad died, the first family, I don't talk to them. I don't want to talk to them. Actually once, so they make a garage. I was like, good attendant, tell you petrol, she said, my guy, tell her first. And as soon as it was done, I was like, gone. Like, I didn't even greet them, didn't even... Like,
at
I didn't.
Petrol station.
Yes.
This is your father's family.
This is
your family.
This is my car. My sisters are here. I'm like, getting the petrol. And she's like, bye.
Okay, I mean, whenever we sit at home, we always talk about, Baba Angashona, his family, or Mama Angashona, her family. You know, you always have those thoughts, what's going to happen, you know, in terms of just dividing things or even just thinking how we're gonna do the ceremony, this funeral thing, because everybody's gonna have their own opinions, you know what I mean? His brother's gonna have his own opinions, my mom's sisters will have their own opinions about how to upata mom. So I always wonder now, how does it work with you guys, especially from a polygamous marriage? Who makes the decisions, you know?
Well, in my situation, funny enough, before he passed away, I used to tell myself, this man is the glue
that's keeping you
yes. Yeah. As soon as he's gone, now I'm gone. And I actually did it. But during the funeral, the first wife and the first family just took initiative.
Okay.
Whether we had objections or whatever, they just took initiative. And the sad thing is that his side of the family went with them. Okay. So it's like...
But she was the first wife.
She was.
So naturally we would...
Even like during, maybe son, when he courts them, she has to know before abalobola. She has to also be like part of it. He can't lobola them without her being aware. She doesn't really have a choice to say no, you can't be, but she needs to be aware.
So she needs to give approval.
Basically.
To say, okay, I'm Tazage Karen, I approve of Karen.
Like, well, it's not good to yamvuma. It's like, okay, I acknowledge good to you bringing.
If I don't have a choice in the matter, why am I even involved? You know what I mean? Well, if I'm like, Karen, imagine Karen looked last week, and then you're gonna bring the same wife and tell me you're gonna marry her. I'm shagging bum.
I think, like, okay, now I don't agree with it, but I think in a sense, it's their way of letting you kind of process another woman is coming in your house. The sad part is you don't have the sad part is you don't have a choice to be like, no, Karen angumfuni. But it's just good ngiyakutshela ukuthi uyazi.
But into okudelela le ukuthi by the way ngiyakutshela uKaren uyeza next week. Uyeza uKaren next week so ngicela ukuthi nimenze ukuthi afile welcome like ekhaya. That time you was like uKaren uzoyenzani like mina ngihlulwa yini le Karen azoyenza. Okay, so but what happened between you? Why were you so happy or so quick to let go of your siblings when your father passed away?
Okay, I wasn't happy, but I was just like.
At the petrol station, you were happy.
The reason is because, funny enough, I lived 12 years now.
Okay, yes.
And
it's a long time.
It's a long. My whole school life, I lived Nabo, and they never treated me gashle. They never made me feel at home. Especially one person in particular. Yeah. We even had an intercession like in the family. They just like, okay, my dad's like, okay, apparently. There's a rivalry between two people, and it was me and her. And it's like, everybody sees it, but I don't. What's happening? Then she told her side, why Anjalo? I understood where she was coming from, like I really understood, but I couldn't sympathize in a sense, but I'm a kid, I'm Ketang.
So what was the issue?
I was born.
But how can you stop being born? Kalok, that's a damn thing to say.
The issue was the other woman. I think she was like mad at my dad, but she could only lash it out to be. I don't know if it makes sense.
But how did she treat your mom?
She was rude. She wouldn't even like address her at times.
To my mom. And you can never get along to. Okay.
Like the thing is, when Ubaba Akona, like when he was around, we would just kind of show face. But as soon as he wasn't around, if you didn't like that person, you go your way, I go my way. Kind of thing. So with mine, it was just sad. When I was young, my mom was working at Sunning Hill, so my dad was like, no, like the first mom, your first mom. The first, Mom Kul wasn't working, so they're like, okay, she's more at home. And then, so they like let her live there, and as you traveling morning, coming back late, you won't see her. So I had to live with them. But they didn't ever make me feel like I'm welcomed. Like I always could feel good. Like
yeah, but okay, let's be honest now. I mean, we're all women. Let's now be honest. You are coming in. You are a child of the woman that basically is now sleeping with my husband. Do I really treat you well? No, should I treat you well? But you're a love child. You must understand. I'm a hang-ups about next, but with you're a constant reminder. Constant reminder every day. That proves, even if I can put it away, it's okay. But maybe my husband doesn't really like her, or he just married her because she's younger. The fact that you are there will always be a constant reminder to say, "Konje." This relationship does exist and it's real. You know what I mean? Did he actually marry all three of them?
Yes. No, he did marry them all. No, he did. He was a man to my Katsila Street. Like, yeah, he wasn't.
Customary law though, because you can't in this country legally marry people. Well, not legally, but the Western way of marriage. Because customary law in South Africa is now
still hadn't been enforced by the time we actually married them.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just joking. Don't say that. Do not say that. So Karen, you say you've got 9 siblings. Do you know all of them?
No.
Njani, Sisi, how old? You're 22 years old. Okay. You don't know your siblings. Are they in Zimbabwe?
Yes. 2. It's 3 now. The one is like, oh, newborn baby. We have a new member in the family. She's so cute. She's like 4 months now.
Is this now from the lady in South Africa?
Yes.
She's now got 3 children?
Yes. I know them because she plays that whole, I want you to be a part of your siblings' life. Yeah. She gives us that thing, Uguti. When last did you? Which I think, to me, it puts so much pressure and gives me that boost of these little people that are looking up to me. Like my little sister, just the other day, I told her, she saw that I was producing some show, and she's always like, my big sister, you know, like she gives me that boost, Uguti, you know, I need to work hard. You know, she calls me, big sister, like, Ugu, so. She makes me feel like there's somebody watching, you know, like I love that whatever was going on in her life, she was strong enough to say, let it not affect the kids. You know, me and her talk a lot. Me and her, like, we homies. Like, we good. With that family here, we good. The problem...
Hold on that problem. We're going to go for another quick air break. When we come back, we're going to pick up straight from Karen and her problems. Remember, you can join our conversation using the hashtag assertiveness. Please don't go anywhere.